and also maybe other more. So, basically we are following the trend in the country, and we'll continue to work with Addis Ababa University medical faculty in the area of specialization and subspecialization training programs, but we'll also continue to start to support the other medical schools.
Would people be willing to come to Ethiopia? How do you approach them?
I think, as I said earlier, there's different ways of getting help. Medical education, unlike a lot of other, university programs, is not just solely dependent on classroom lectures. It's dependent on a lot of practical hands-on training. And the key is you have to have some local teaching program here. Otherwise, you can't do it completely with people from outside. So I think our approach is there is some structure here. How can we bring other people to help? Some people can come here for a short visit, and if it is arranged in a structured way, 2 weeks seems very small, but a lot of things can be done in 2 weeks. Some people can come here for a month. That's even better. Some people can come here for 2-3 months. And if we are lucky, sometimes they might come for a year. So I think there are different ways of helping both the medical service and also the medical.
So do you go out or do you reach out to those professionals, Ethiopians, and say, hey, you have a job in Ethiopia. You can do something. You can make a difference if you go there for 2 weeks. Do you go out and say that? And if you do, how do people react? Is it quite favorable quite often?
I think the way to do it is the following. I think, number one, People to People already was involved in a diaspora database project, which was supported by World Bank several years ago. So that started the concept, how can we reach out to the diaspora physicians. So that's number one. The second thing People to People has done is that there is an internet forum called People to People Yahoo group, which a lot of people are subscribed to. Initially, it was started as a means of health professionals within this organization to kind of communicate about health-related issues. It became such a huge medium that right now there's 55,000 people who subscribe to that forum. So it reaches to a lot of physicians, not only in the diaspora, but also a lot of physicians here.
So you're saying that people know about the needs from those discourses that you have on the net, and then say, hey, I can go to Ethiopia, I can be of help. Is that how?
Well, here's the thing. If you are talking about the diaspora Ethiopians.
I'm talking about diaspora Ethiopians.
There's people who are willing to help by themselves because they reached a point where in their professional career where they said, you know what, I have achieved so much, now it's time for me to give back. Those people, they will find you wherever you are. On the other side, there's people who may not know in detail what's going on, but whom you can reach through the email forum, through the internet forum. And the other thing also which we have created over the last 2 years is we have started a once-a-year global conference in Washington, D.C. to bring the Ethiopian health professionals to one location. And in both years, we had more than 200 physicians come to Washington, D.C. and attend the meeting. That's pretty good. Remember, the United States is such a huge country. Those 200 plus people came from all over the different states. What we did in those conferences was we invited key partners from here, from Ministry of Health, from the universities, from the hospitals, from the Ethiopian Medical Association. And we created a forum where the people there can communicate with the people here to figure out, what's going on, what are the areas we can help. And so that's another forum. So we do have different ways where we can reach to the different, physicians there. And in terms of the U.S.
Right. But you're not saying that you're having enough number in terms of bringing those professionals over to Ethiopia.
I think there's enough interested people. I think we are working on an effective structure. There's people there who have shown some interest to help. There's institutions here who need help. So I think the devil is in the detail. How can we create an effective link between those, and that's where people to people is actively working on. I mean, it's an ongoing, process. There's already some things going on. We want it to get bigger and to bring more people into the picture.
You mentioned the annual conference that you have in Washington D.C.
Yes.
where you bring these two big segments of the whole equation. And what has been discussed, for example, last year? I mean,
so for example, on the last meeting, we had two big themes in the meeting. One was emergency medicine in Ethiopia. As you know, as of a few years ago, there wasn't even an emergency medicine concept, in Ethiopia. Emergency medicine is a very wide field. It starts from home. Basically, you collapse at home. Someone has to come and pick you up from home, from, ambulance. And then it includes the emergency service in the hospital. It includes emergency physicians. So people to people has been very instrumental in helping Black Lion Hospital, Addis Ababa University medical faculty. So that was one theme, for example. So people who already have worked in that project reported to the whole audience what their challenges were, what worked, what did not work. And we have the people from the emergency department here from Black Lion Hospital. We have people from Ministry of Health. So we try to come up with some solutions based on those. That was one major topic. The second topic was the postgraduate medical education. And as I have mentioned to you, I happen to chair the postgraduate medical education committee we have within People to People. We have assembled more than 20 highly committed medical professionals who are working actively in supporting training programs. So what we discussed was what were the challenges. What are people experiencing when they come here to help residency programs, medical schools, subspecialization programs. So the same thing. We had people from Addis Ababa University. We had people from Ministry of Health. We had people, Americans, Ethiopian diaspora. So we created the forum.
You could have done better by bringing all these medical doctors over to Ethiopia and debate the issues. A, they can see for themselves the state of the medical profession, the medical services, and so on. And B, they can figure out how to be part of the whole game.
Yeah, I think I can tell you that People to People over the years has done that in different ways. People to People has brought big delegations, Ethiopians as well as non-Ethiopians, arranged for different types of training programs, including CME programs, some programs affiliated with Ethiopian Medical Association. So it has been done. It hasn't been done in this forum. And we are planning to do that. And actually people have raised this question. We are trying to figure out the logistics of it. I think there are pros and cons of doing it here versus doing it there. As you know, it's very difficult to bring all 200 of them together at the same time here to Ethiopia. It's easier for people to come there. Maybe 50 of them will come instead of 200, So if you want people in the United States to hear about those activities, then a forum there might not be bad. On the other side, I agree with you. Whatever we do, we need input from people who are here on the ground. And so arranging, maybe down the road, maybe we can do it once here, once there, that type of arrangement.
Well, Dr. Elias, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure having you on my show.
Thank you. Thank you.